Hello everybody and welcome back to Skip Allen Paints and the YouTube channel of Skip Allen. This is video 3 in a series of videos about how to recover your custom information in the case of a painter crash. So in the first couple of videos we talked about preparing the workspace and how to bring it back into Painter after you've started it or after you've had to restart with a shift start or uninstall, reinstall the program. But sometimes that doesn't work because the workspace itself is corrupted and you cannot import it back into Painter. In that case, we can recover the information individually from the workspace. Now, from this point on, whether you're on a Mac or a PC doesn't matter. In the previous video, we saved the workspace information to someplace under your documents. And so I'm going to open up my Windows Explorer, and I can go directly to where I've saved that workspace. Now, before I do that, I almost forgot. In Painter, if I click on my window and go to Workspace, you see that since I've restarted Painter with a shift start and set everything to its factory default, I only have the default workspace, which is, clean workspace as if I just bought the program. What I want to do now is create a new workspace that I can import the information in. So what I will do is I will click on New Workspace, and then I'm going to name the workspace something, and we'll call it Skips 2015, which is what the old one I think was called. I don't remember right now. And you want to save it based on the default, which means that Skips 2015 will be identical to what the default is at the moment. So we click Save. Okay, now it starts switching workspaces. And I'm going to pause this video because sometimes switching workspaces takes a little bit of time, and rather than you watching that, we'll just come back after it's done. Okay, see you in a minute. And we are back. And so if I go up to Window and I click on Workspace, you will see that I'm now in Skips 2015 Workspace. Okay, so now that we've established the workspace, let's start bringing in some of the information from our old workspace, which was corrupted. All right, so I'm going to open up my my Windows Explorer. If you're on a Mac, you'd open up your your Finder and go to where you have saved the contents of the corrupted workspace. Now I'm going to start sort of up at the top and kind of give you a blow-by-blow of how to do this, but we'll do it in multiple videos. So what you have here is a series of folders that are inside of the corrupted workspace, as well as some files down here at the bottom. If I click on Brushes and open it up, I see that there is another series of folders. Now, each one of these folders is a brush library. And if I look, I'll see Painter 13 brushes, Painter 14 brushes, and Painter brushes. Those are the three default libraries that come with Painter. Painter 13 would be X3. Painter 14 is Painter 2015. Sorry about that. And Painter brushes would be Painter 12. So these three libraries you don't need to do anything with. They're already in Painter, unless you've saved some custom brushes in custom category brushes in one of these libraries. Then we'll need to pull that out, and I'll show you how to do that shortly. But let's just go to one of these libraries, and I'm going to go to Eastern Water because it's a small library and it won't take as long to zip it up and do the things that I need to do. But basically you open up the folder and then you select the complete contents of the folder. What I did was click on Buttery Oils, and then I held the Shift key down and clicked on Ordering That, and that selected the whole folder. We're doing this the same way we did when we selected the contents of the workspace. I'm going to right-click and I'm going to send it to a compressed zip folder. You can use any zip application you may have. I'm pretty sure Mac has one included with it, just like Windows does. At that point, we get the zipped file. I want to change the name of it to Eastern Water because that would match the category, that name that I had originally. And then I want to go to zip, and I'm going to change that to brush library. Okay, so we've now changed the name to easternwater.brush library, and I click enter, and I'll get that comment that the extension might be unstable. We don't care. We just go, yes, we want to do it. Okay, now I can go back to Painter 2015, and I'm currently in Painter 2015 brushes, and that's where I want to be, or really it doesn't matter where I'm going to be, because when Painter brings in a brush library, it will bring it in and switch you automatically to that library. So I'm going up to brushes. I'm going to click on import and brush library. Now I'm going to look for that brush library. So if I go to where I had saved that, and go to brushes, and then Eastern Water, which is where I saved it. Now I click on Eastern Water Brush Library and open. And within just a few seconds, it opens up. There you have Eastern Water and Buttery Oils were the two categories in there, and I have all the variants that were included. Okay, so basically what I would have to do is I would go in here, go back to brushes, and I would go into each one of these libraries, zip it, change the extension to brush library, and then import it into Painter. Now, most of you are probably not going to have this many libraries for sure, but you might have taken, say, your Painter 2015 library and added some brushes to it. For instance, I've added Skip's calligraphic brushes to my Painter 2015 library. So what I want to do is I want to make these brushes into a category that I can import back into Painter 2015 library. So I'm going to select the brush folder, and then I'm going to come down and looking in the files, I'm going to find a matching companion JPEG, and that would be Skip's calligraphic brushes. I want to hold down the Control or Command key and click on it. Now I have selected both of these files. Again, I'm going to right-click and send it to the compressed zip folder. And what I'm going to get is Skip's calligraphic brushes.zip. So if the name was not correct, I would change the name to what it needed to be. And then I would come to the zip part, and I would change that to brush category. Okay, before we used brush library, now it's brush category. And I get that same name that the file might be unstable, and I definitely want to continue to change it. Okay, now I can go back to Painter 2015. Now currently, this is important, we're currently in the Eastern Water Library, and I wanted to put that category into Painter 2015 library. So in order to put a category in a specific library, that library needs to be open. So I would open up my flyout menu, click on Brush Library, and then click on Painter 2015 Brushes. Now if I look, you can see that I'm in the Painter 2015 Brush Library. So I would then go to Brushes, Import, and this time I select Category. And I would want to go to 2015, I'd want to go to Brushes, and come down to my Painter 14 brushes, and come down the list, and there's where I saved Skip's calligraphic brush category. Click on it, say open, and now I'm still in Painter 2015 brushes, and we've added the category called Skips Calligraphic Brushes, and there are all the variants that are there. Okay, so any custom categories that were not in, any custom categories that I placed in the default libraries, I would have to take them out separately and import into Painter. Okay? I know this seems very complex, but if you've ever lost everything and you don't have it backed up, this is actually faster than reestablishing or trying to rebuild a workspace from scratch. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. We'll leave at this moment, and I'll be back shortly with the next video.